Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Wildcat Wednesday, Holly Miner from the K-State Extension District joining us. Kitchen Kids Camp coming up, limited number of spots, and on KOAM News Now, you can find not only the location, but also the times, dates, etc. But what Holly's walking me through this morning is a first-hand look at what your kids are going to be able to accomplish and bring home from the Kitchen Kids Camp. And I love this book.
It's got a lot of information in it. It's got food safety. It's got step-by-step directions.
It's got the recipe that we're making this morning right here.
Yep, everything. List of ingredients. So when you get ready to go shopping, it's got that shopping list all made for you.
Oh yeah, that would be kind of important.
Yeah.
So earlier, Holly and I started off by making a salad. Now we're going to finish off with the dressing, and Holly's actually letting me do this, so we got to see how this works out. So Holly, kind of explain to me what we have right here and the process, because folks, this is exactly what the kids are going to be learning at this camp.
Right, so we're going to make our own balsamic vinaigrette dressing, and we have olive oil and vinegar in here, and I used apple cider vinegar. It gives it a little bit of an apple flavor, and we have apples in the salad, so it's a nice combination there. We have a half a teaspoon of mustard.
And all I'm going to do is I'm going to jump this in here.
Dump that in there. A fourth of a teaspoon of salt. We have a half teaspoon of honey.
Now this is the one that I've been dreading on live television to try to get this out of here.
And then it's kind of sticky, so here's a washcloth that you can wipe your hands off.
I appreciate that.
And just a dash of pepper. So we'll see if we can just do a dash of pepper, if the whole thing doesn't come open. There you go.
Perfect.
A dash of pepper.
Okay, now what are my marching orders?
Now put the lid on. Okay. So we're just using a mason jar. We're putting the lid on, and you're just going to shake that jar.
And so essentially, a kid could make their own vinaigrette in, what do we just do this in, 45 seconds?
Yeah, so it's pretty fast and easy. When that gets all dispersed, we can drizzle a little bit on our salad that I have dished up already, and then we could pour the rest on the rest of the salad. So pretty easy to do, and very inexpensive to make at home.
Oh my gosh, it smells wonderful.
Yeah, it smells good. In our salad, we put just regular mixed greens. We had the cucumber and the apple that we chopped up earlier. I diced some half tomatoes, so there's some half tomatoes in here, and we also put in some feta cheese and a little bit of green onions chopped up, and then some chives.
And once again, we're talking about kids ages 10 to 12, and the fact that they can feel confident and safe. I think that's another key factor of it, because earlier, Holly and we were using legitimate knives, but I think it's important too, because that's what the kids are going to experience at home.
Yes.
You need to put them in that real life atmosphere. And look how beautiful that is.
It's very, has a lot of color, so it makes it look nice.
What's some of the feedback that you received from the kids and the parents that were part of this last year?
They were super excited to have this program. The parents were excited to have the kids be able to come home, and they shared how to make different foods and what they did in the class. We've had a lot of neat experiences with the kids and working together, just seeing them do team building things when they're trying to concentrate on the third day when they're figuring out what they're going to make for their little cook-off competition. It's so fun seeing their eyes light up and them discussing.
Just for people that may have missed that earlier, while the kids are going to have several days to learn recipes and safety and whatnot, kind of talk to us about this competition that you put together on the third day, because this sounds like a reality show.
Yeah, so they have all the equipment that they've been using throughout the week that they can use. They have a list of ingredients that they can choose from. So this year we'll have the apples, the cucumbers, the onion, the lettuce, and then we'll be doing some other things. One of the other days we're going to make applesauce, so they'll be making applesauce from scratch and cooking it on the stove. They'll have a bunch of different spices they can use. We'll be talking about eggs, so we'll have some eggs to use as well. And then they'll use those foods to make a meal that uses all the food groups.
Okay.
And they come up with their own recipe. They figure out who's going to do what tasks, how long it's going to take them. It has to be able to fit within a 60-minute time frame, so they have 60 minutes from the time we say, okay, you can start, to when they have to present their dish to the judges.
And like you say, that's so much more than just learning how to cook. That is team building, that is problem solving.
They have to learn to They're agreeing on the recipe that they're going to make, what ingredients they're going to use, how they're going to present that. We talk a lot about presenting to the judges, and then the judges ask them questions like, what food groups do you have? What food group is this in? And so they ask them questions that are relevant to what we've been learning and studying all week.
How do we get in touch with you now that we all want to be a part of this? Because I want to bring this up, folks. There's a limited number of slots. Holly and her team, while they do marvelous work, there's only so many people and kids we can fit in the kitchen.
Right.
How do we get in touch with you?
So on your website, you'll have the flyers for all three of the different flyers. The Fredonia and Parsons camps are still open. We still have spaces in them. There is a bit.ly link on the flyer that they can use to sign up. At the end of that bit.ly link, it takes them automatically to the payment page where they can make their payment right online. Everything is done online. The 2 spots that are available in the Greenbush camp, those are a QR code, and that code is on the flyer, so they can scan that code with their phone and register that way.
And for those of you that are just saying, hey, I'm going to call the extension office, just make sure you ask for the Kitchen Kids Camp, and they're going to be able to give you the times, dates, and locations. Holly, I want to thank you so much for putting this on for the kids. And parents, I really hope you do take advantage of this. And also, too, I want to bring this up one more point, because it's not only a recipe, but there's food safety tips in here. And I really like this worksheet section, because I can see this opening up a family dialogue when you get home. Tell me what you made today, tell me how you made it, and there you go. You have another conversation that you're able to have as a family around the table.
Right. There's also table setting tips in there too. How to set the table, etiquette.
That's why I'm stealing this one, folks. I'm stealing it. Holly, thank you so much for joining us on this Wildcat Wednesday. We always love seeing you. And we'll be back with more KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.